Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Music Den. I'm your host, Armando Venditti, and I wanted to do another installment of Stand or Fall. And in this installment of Stand or Fall, I'm going to be talking about a band who were popular in the early 80s, massively popular in the early 80s, took a break. They splintered off into two factions. Each faction did their own side project. And when they got together again, they never were really the same in terms of their popularity, at least in North America. The band is Duran Duran. Now, I know that, primarily I've been talking about rock music and classic rock. But as I said, when I started the channel, I was going to be doing a cross section of different genres. Um, Now, Duran Duran started out in the late 70s. I'm going to say early 70s, but that's not the case. Around 78, and they gained massive popularity in the early to mid 80s with their debut album in 81, the album Rio in 82, their album Seven and a Ragga Tiger in 83. They released a live album called Arena, single disc. Don't know why people do that, but it was a single disc album, live album in 84. They took a break after that. They wanted a bit of a breather for one another. And as I said, they splintered off into two factions. You had the bass player and the guitar player, John Taylor and Andy Taylor, going off with Robert Palmer and Tony Thompson, drummer from Chic. Fantastic drummer, heavy hitter of a drummer. Bloody hell. Massive sound on the drums to do their album Power Station. And that left keyboardist Nick Rhodes, vocalist Simon LeBon, and drummer Roger Taylor to form their own group called Arcadia. Sorry. And this is a group I'm going to be focusing on today. They decided to go to Paris to record an album. The album is called So Red the Rose. Now, this album, what to say about this album? Quite a bit, actually. I've often said that if you took the heaviness of what was Power Station and I'd say, synthesized textures of, and I guess, avant-garde art rock of Arcadia and put them in the blender, out comes Duran Duran. Okay. But I digress. Arcadia released their one and only album, So Red the Rose, in the fall of 85. And it featured a multitude of artists contributing. Grace Jones, Sting, David Gilmour from Pink Floyd, Herbie Hancock, Carlos Alomar, I almost forgot, who, as you may have known, was David Bowie's touring guitarist and also collaborated with him on Heroes, the album Heroes, and helped to write Fame with John Lennon. So on the So Red the Rose album, you had these tracks that were, people call them art rock. I call them avant-garde pop. Very layered, textured synthesizers, a lot of textured keyboard passages, a very sort of ambient, atmospheric music. The the drumming by Roger Taylor is precise, pristine, on point. Just there are no flaws on this album in terms of recording. The the method of recording that they did and the sound textures and soundscapes that they created for this album is, dare I say, brilliant. It was the album "So Red the Rose" was produced by Alex Satkin, who unfortunately passed away. He had worked with Duran Duran on Simon and the Ragged Tiger. After this project, he had gone on to work with Simply Red for the album Men and Women in '87. He unfortunately passed away, I do believe, in the late '80s. This album, again, getting back to the Arcadia project, the whole the production is very European sounding. Again, a lot of keyboard textures, a lot of atmospheric soundscapes that are happening. I almost call it ambient. There's a track on side 2 that starts off side 2 called Rose Arcana, and it's about 1 minute and 9 seconds. It is an instrumental that is just, again, very atmospheric, very moody. I don't want to say macabre, but it does have that sort of dark shadows kind of a feel to it, I love that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's just me. Anyways, even the overall packaging of the album cover, as you saw, it was a pencil drawing of a model that they knew. And the overall color scheme for this project was white, black, and red. Okay. Very sort of stark color schemes and thick textures, even with regards to the music itself. And the fact that they were able to get all these different artists. There's the singles that were released from the album, So Red the Rose, were Election Day, Goodbye is Forever, The Flame, and The Promise. Now, The Promise, which is the second track on side 2, is a 7-minute plus opus. It is by far my favorite track on the album. It features David Gilmour on the guitar, Herbie Hancock on keyboards, Sting on backing vocals, although he's not credited. I don't know why, but he wasn't credited. He does sort of a call and answer with Simon Le Bon on the vocals. And the subject matter for these tracks are very sort of abstract in terms of the lyrical content. There is, if you can find it, there is an anniversary deluxe edition of So Red the Rose, which is like a 2-disc, 1 DVD package that contains the original album plus B-sides and remixes that were done for the single releases. The DVD has all of the videos that were released from the album, plus other backstage footage of video shoots and stuff. And it has the full recording of the one instrumental track, Rose Arcana. The other tracks on the album that I did not mention are Keep Me in the Dark, which is okay. Missing, El Diablo, and I do believe there's one other track, but it is escaping me right now, the name of it. But this album I mean, I've often said that had you have taken the hits that were from Seven and the Ragged Tiger, The Reflex, New Moon on Monday, Union of the Snake, even the instrumental Tiger Tiger, and you would if you had combined those tracks with the single releases from So Red the Rose, you would have had a killer third release from Duran Duran. But you know, hindsight is always 2020. Now, the purpose of this segment. Does this package, this side project, stand the test of time when it was released back in 85, or has it fallen off the cliff and has died an untimely death? Hell no. It has stood the test of time. It is the one album that I go back to. I had it on cassette. I found it on vinyl at a secondhand record store in Toronto back in 86 for like $3.99. I even had the hole punched in the corner of the cover, meaning that it was discontinued from Capital EMI. It is between the two projects that they did, the Power Station debut, self-titled, and the So Red the Rose. It is the one album that I go back to. The other album, the Power Station debut, the only memorable tracks for me were Some Like It Hot and the T-Rex cover of Get It On, Bang It Gone. The rest, very unmemorable. The So Red the Rose, yes, it has stood the test of time. It will always be, for me, almost like a de facto Duran Duran album. And it will always be my favorite de facto Duran Duran album until I finally leave this earth. Not to be over dramatic, but that's the way it is. So, down there, down below, please leave your comments. Do you know of this album? Have you heard the singles? Have you heard the album as a whole? What do you think? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you indifferent? Let me know what you think. And we all have different tastes. And that's the purpose of these segments, is to get reaction and get comments coming from you guys, and giving me your opinions. I mean, that's the great part about this, is you can give your opinion and let me know what you think. It's fantastic to do that. So hopefully you guys are having a great day. It's a beautiful sunny day here. I might be doing another one of these today or tomorrow. You never know. Just as a quick reminder, Friday I'm going to be taping another segment of Misguided or Misunderstood with Ryan Gavalier. We're going to be doing that Friday morning, and it's going to be covering their 1987 release of Big Generator. So please stay tuned for that. And also Bill Schuster is going to be coming back on the channel again, and we're going to be doing a couple more album ranking episodes. Hopefully you guys like the Pink episode that we did with his wife Stacy. She was fantastic. And please let me know what you guys think of these episodes. Okay, so I'm going to be signing off for now. You guys have a great day, and look after yourselves and each other, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.